Today, April 25, is the feast of Saint Mark the Evangelist. John's Gospel offers the reader this brief post-resurrection scene. Simon Peter said to them, "I am going fishing." They said to him, "We will go with you." They went out and got into the boat. The flock followed where Peter led. How easily St. Peter moves to the fore in the Acts of the Apostles. How effortlessly he speaks for the entire community of faith. St. Peter even leaves the running of the church in Jerusalem to St. James to show that he is not bound to one city or community. Instead, Peter walks towards the widest horizon of evangelization, the capital of the world, Rome. Traitor Peter become Pope Peter. Peter was, of course, a simple fisherman. It is more interesting to note that he did not remain a simple fisherman. He grew, he matured, he led. And leaders don't have followers as much as joiners. Saint Mark, whom we commemorate today, was one of the most significant of the many joiners who uprooted themselves to join Peter in his dangerous adventure of founding the church. Nothing is known for certain of Mark's origin of his youth. He is not mentioned in the Gospel that bears his name, and only the faintest biographical sketch is possible. What is known is that Mark left his homeland in Palestine to follow first St. Paul and later St. Peter. Mark sailed dangerous seas in primitive boats. He walked long stretches through desolate lands. He tried to convince hardened pagans and skeptical Romans that the gospel message was true. The words of the Acts of the Apostles, the letters of St. Paul, and the first letter of St. Peter all put dots on the large map of Mark's life. Many blank spaces, however, still lay in between. Mark is traveling with Paul in Asia Minor. Then he's with Barnabas on a boat over here. When he's with someone else over there, and then he disappears for a number of years. The scattered evidence ends, however, with clear testimony that Mark joined Peter in Rome. In Peter's first letter, written from the city of his death to the church in Asia Minor, Pope Peter sends greeting on Mark's behalf and refers to him as "my son." Saint Mark is, of course, best known as the author of a gospel. Like Saint Luke and Saint Peter, he was not one of the 12 apostles and so likely never met Jesus Christ in person. Scholars believed that the Gospel of Saint Mark relates the experiences of Saint Peter, Mark's mentor. Each gospel has its own unique sources, emphasis, and audiences. Mark writes for non-Jews who would be impressed by Christ's miracles more than his fulfillment of Old Testament prophecies. So, in Mark's Gospel are found certain colorful details that suggest the writer was relating the words of an eyewitness. For example, in Mark 5:41, Jesus enters the home of Jairus, a synagogue leader whose daughter lay dead. Christ says to her, "Talitha cum." Mark then tells the reader what "Talitha cum" means, presumably because his readers did not speak Aramaic. No other gospel includes this touching detail of the untranslated words coming from the mouth of Christ that day. Mark also places other Aramaic words on Christ's lips: Ephrata, Abba, and Hosanna. Peter was there when it happened. Peter heard the Lord speak, and Peter was getting old, or was in prison or was threatened with death. The gospel he had shared and repeated verbally so many thousands of times had to be written down to send to others, to preserve the accuracy of history or to contradict counterfeit versions. And so the natural progression from oral to written history slowly occurred. The gospel was spoken word before it was a book, and the word has primacy over the book. Saint Mark the Evangelist preserved for all time the word of God, Jesus Christ, by committing Peter's words to writing, thus ensuring that the spoken eyewitness accounts of gospel of Christ's life did not just float away in the breeze. Once the word was enshrined on papyrus, Saint Mark had accomplished his mission forever and always.